Hi dear viewers, welcome to a new session of Informatics for BA English. Today we are going to discuss about mainly what is search engines, and there are some other topics as well. Let us see what is search engine. Search engine is one of the important concept in internet, because when we search for any data in internet, search engine is taking a very important role in searching data. A search engine is a software system that is designed to carry out web searches. So what is the purpose of search engine? Search engine is actually a software system that is designed to carry out web searches. What I mean web searches, whatever we are searching in internet is carried out by search engines. They search the World Wide Web in a systematic way for particular information specified in a textual web search query. So based on the web search query, it will search for a specific or particular information, right? And that information is reside in World Wide Web. We discussed about World Wide Web long back. World Wide Web is a collection of web pages. Web pages is a collection of information, right? So if a search engine wants to search for information, it should search in World Wide Web so that it will get the information, and that information will be given to the user, those who are asking for the data. The search results are generally presented in a line of result, often referred to as search engine result pages, SERPs. What is SERPs? SERPs are the web pages where it contains the search result as line by line. You can see it will display the search result line by line, and that search result page is called as SERP, search engine result page, right? I'll show you one example there. If you want to see search data, I should go to a web browser. As you know, to search data in internet, you should go to web browser. Right, and when I search for that, let's say google.com, this is the search engine. Google is a kind of search engine, but one of the most popular search engine. Google is one of the popular search engine. So let's say I want to search for a informatics books. So I have to give that search keyword here, ebooks. This is the search query. So when I click search button, or just type enter button, you can see a page which will comes up. This is called as SERP, search engine result page. In search engine result page, you can see the data is sorted out here like this. Here you can see first, second, third. So it will display line by line, and this data or this information is related to what? It is related to informatics ebooks, right? All this data is related to informatics ebooks. So this is called as, this page is called as SERP. I hope you understood. Then the information may be a mix of links to the web page, or images, videos, infographics, articles, research papers, and other type of file, right? So information may be anything. The previous example you can see, see here, this is a kind of link, right? hyperlink to a page. If you click on this page you can move on to another website, right? Or if you want to see images related to informatics books, when you click on image tab on top, you can see this one, this images. And if you want to see videos, you can see here videos and many more. You can go for books, flights, finance, etc. There are different categories of search, right? So by default it is all. It will display everything. Okay, it will not be categorized, it will display everything. So when you click on any of this link, you will be redirecting to that particular website, right? So this is a website, best health informatics ebook for all time, right? This is a website where you can see different kind of informatics books where you can purchase. Okay, right. So that's about SERP. And unlike web directories, search are maintained only. Unlike web directories, which are maintained only by human editors, search engine also maintain real-time information by running an algorithm on web crawler. So what is web directories? Web directories are the directories which consist of information about a particular company or user. It consists of address, email address, phone number, etc. That is a web directory. So web directory is a electronic directory where it contains contact information of a company or a particular user or users, right? But this is not like web directory. Web directory only contains those things, but in this case search engine, it also maintains real-time information by running an algorithm on web crawler. So in web crawler, if you run an algorithm, it will give you exact information like web directory also. Okay. A search engine maintains the following process in real time. So what is the process which is going to happen when you search for a particular keyword? For example, in a previous example we can see, we have seen that when you type informatics ebooks and when you type enter key, or when you click enter key or type or click on search button, what happens when you do that? So after clicking on search button, what is happening in a search engine? That's what we are going to see. So there are three processes which is happening in search engine. First one is web crawling, second is indexing, and third is searching. So these are the three kind of process which is happening one by one. Web search engine get their information by web crawling from site to site. So what is web crawling means? Web crawling is used to get the information. Web search engine get their information by web crawling from site to site. So each the keyword will be flowing to each and every site, and it will fetch the related information from every site, right? That is called as web crawling. Crawling means to go and search in every sites available. The spider check for the standard file name robots.txt addressed to it. So what is spider? Spider will check the standard file name robot.txt attached to each and every website and address to it. If it is if the data is available in that particular or the respective websites, it will go to a robots.txt attached to each website and address to it. The robotic.txt file contains directives for each spiders, telling it which page to crawl and which page not to crawl. So what is big crawl? To go and find out the page. If the robot.txt is saying that you don't go there because your information is not there, means you don't want to go. So when you go to a particular website, when a search engine goes to a particular website, it will first search robot.txt. So robot.txt will tell you whether your requested information is there in the website and also which page it is available. So you don't want to go each and every page. A website may contain thousands of it may contain hundreds of web pages. So you don't want to go to each and every web pages of that particular site. A robot.txt will tell you which page you have to go and find, right? That means robot.txt will give you a path, okay? And after checking for robot.txt and they're finding it or not, the spider sends certain information back to be indexed depending on many factors such as the titles, page content, JavaScript, cascading style sheet, headings, or its metadata in HTML meta tags. So after finding the data in particular web page, the robot.txt the robot.txt will give you certain indexed factors. What is it? Indexed factors such as title of the page, page content, JavaScript, cascading style sheet, headings, or its metadata in HTML tags. So whatever the data is there in meta tag will be given back to client from robot.txt. After a certain number of pages crawled means taken, amount of data indexed or time spent on the website, the spider stops crawling and moves on, right? So what is the exact purpose of crawling? Crawling means to find out the pages which contains the requested information with the help of robot.txt, right? Once every page has been crawled, that means the pages which consist of the requested information and also the amount of data indexed or time spent on the website, the spider stops crawling and moves on. So who is going to scroll? The crawling is done by spider, right? Crawling is done by spider. And what is indexing? Indexing means associating words and other definable tokens found on web pages to their domain names and HTML based field. So what is indexing means? So that's about web crawling. So what is indexing? Indexing means associating words and other definable tokens found on web pages to their domain names and HTML based field. So indexing means it will once you get all the information using crawling, it will associate the words. That means, for example, if you give informatics ebooks, so informatics ebooks means this is an information. So based on that keyword, whatever the page is available, then all these pages is been crawled first. That means if you have 1000 pages related to this keyword, all these pages is been crawled. Once all the pages is crawled, then it will maintain a list, right? Which should come first, which will come second, which will come third, etc. That indexing is there. So that indexing is based on the user's response to that website. For example, if you say informatics for BA English or informatics ebooks, then you will get the first link. That means you can see here you got this because you got this link first, right? In search engine page you have seen this is the first link. Why? Because most of the users in internet, they have searched this page or this website. That is the reason why you got this as a first link, right? This as a first link. Normally when you do that, we will first go for this particular website because you don't want to go further if you have enough information here, right? So this is the first web page you can see. This is the first web link you can see, right? Likewise you have many links here. This is another link, third, fourth, fifth, etc. There will be a rank, right? This has been done using indexing. That has been done using indexing concept. Okay. Then the association are made in a public database, made available web search queries. A query from a user can be single word, multiple words, or sentence. I told you it may have a single word. It consists of 2 words. So query may be different, right? It may be single word or multiple words, and all this will be associated in public database. It is made available for web search queries. Okay. The index helps find information relating to query as quickly as possible. So that is the purpose of index. It will query the result as fast as possible, right? Then when a user enters a query into search engine, it is a few keyword, right? The index already has the name of the sites containing the keyword, and these are instantly obtained from the index. I told you, from the index you will get the data one by one. The real processing loads in generating the web pages that are the search result list. There you can see the search result list. That is a real processing load in generating the web pages. Every page in the entire list must be weighted according to the information in the indexes. What do you mean according to the information in the indexes? Indexes will tell you which page will come first or which link will come first, right? So accordingly you will see the list of links. Then top search result item require the lookup, right? Reconstruction and markup of the snippet showing the context of the keyword matched, right? And the usefulness of a search engine depends on the relevance of the results that it gives back. That's true. While there may be millions of web pages that includes a particular word or phrase, some pages may be more relevant, popular or authoritative than others. This is all, everything will be done by index. Most search engines employ methods to rank the result to provide the best result first. That I told you. And how a search engine decide which page are the best matches and what order the result should be shown varies widely from one engine to another engine. For example, if you go for Google, go to Google and search Informatics ebooks, then you will get some result. And the same thing when you go and search in in another Yahoo search engine, you will get different result. That means the result may be different. That is based on the algorithm used by the search engine. So that is the reason why Google is one of the most reliable and fast search engine in the world, because it will give you an exact result. That is why most of the users rely on Google. Okay. The method also change over time as internet usage changes and new technologies evolve. There are two main types of search engine that have evolved. One is a system of predefined and hierarchically ordered keywords that humans have programmed extensively. So there are some search engines where humans are programmed extensively, right? Humans have programmed, but there are some search engines which is not programmed by human. It will automatically takes. The other is a system that generates an inverted index by analyzing the text it locates. So inverted index is possible, right? So that's about search engine, right? So in the search engine concept, you have to understand three things. What is search engine, how it is being used in internet, and what is the relevance of search engine. And there are three steps or three process which is happening when you search for a keyword, right? That also you should understand. What are those things? Those things are web crawling, indexing and searching. So these three things, process steps you have to understand. Okay. And the next topic is emails. All of you know what is email. What is email? Electronic mail service, often referred to as email, enables an internet user to send a mail to another internet user in any part of the world in a near real-time manner. Nowadays you can see most of the users are using emails for sending letters, not only letters, everything. 100 years back, the users are using mail system. When you want to send a letter to one of your friend who is residing in Gulf, when you send a letter today, it will reach in Gulf by, it takes around 20 days to reach there. But nowadays you can see, if you want to send a letter to your friend, you don't want to wait 10 days to reach there. It will reach in milliseconds or seconds. That is the advantage of email. You can send email from any part of the world. If you have internet connection, you can send email from any part of the world to anybody in the world, right? That in real time manner. Email service has many similarities with postal mail service. There are many similarities. What are the similarities of email when you compare with postal mail service? What do you mean by postal mail service? The physical mail service that I just mentioned in the beginning. When you want to send a letter to your friend who is residing in Gulf, you have to write in paper, you have to give the address, everything, and you have to insert it in cover, and you have to write the address again, everything you have to add in, and you have to put it in mailbox in postal mail service, right? In post office you have to go and put your mail, or you put your letter. Then it will reach to your it will reach to your friend in a day or in a month. That depends on the distance, right? So what are the similarities between email and postal mail service? All the internet users have an email address, just as all of us have a postal address. So like postal address, all of the internet users have an email address. If a user wants to send an email, it should he or she should have a email address. Each internet user has a mailbox. They should have a mailbox. Then only you can send and receive emails. When sending an email to another user, a sender specifies the email address of the receiver. When sending an email to another user, a sender specifies the email address of the receiver. You should specify the email address of the receiver, right? Same like postal address, you have to give the address. An internet email messages consist of three components. What are the components of internet email address? The message envelope, there will be a message envelope, the message header will be there, and message body. What are those? Message envelope, message header, and message body. And the message header contains control information including sender's email address and one or more recipient addresses, right? Sender's email address also you have to specify, and receiver's email address, recipient addresses. Usually descriptive information is also added, such as subject header field and message submission date and time. So along with message header, we are also adding descriptive information. What are the descriptive information? Descriptive information are subject header and message submission date and time. The subject of the mail or subject of the letter, there you have to specify in subject header, and message submission date and time, that also you can specify in descriptive information. Okay, the mail service delivers an already sent mail into its receiver's mail box, right? So when you send a mail, that will be sent to receiver's mailbox. So mailbox consists of the mails which has been received. Okay, the receivers extract the mail from his mailbox and read it his convenient time. Okay, according to his convenient time, he can extract the mail from his mailbox. Okay, that's about email. And next is chat. What is chat? Everybody knows what is chat, because always we use chat, right? Instant messaging or chat is a form of text-based communication in which two persons participate in a single conversation over their computers or mobile devices within an internet-based chat room, right? So by using instant messaging or chat, it's a form-based it is a form of text-based communication. What do you mean text-based communication? Where you can where you can send text, right? You can communicate through text. That is called as text-based communication. In that communication, more than two persons can take part. Okay, so if you want to communicate with another person, you can communicate through text. You can say hi, hello, welcome, right? So likewise you can communicate. Okay, and you need a computer or mobile devices with an internet to communicate with each other. Okay, in push mode, between two or more people using a personal computer or other devices along with shared clients, right? Along with the shared clients, you can communicate. Instant messaging is basically offers real-time direct written language based on online chat. So here in instant messaging we are communicating in a real time, right? There is no time delay when you are communicating with, right? In real time you can communicate, and that also using written language, right? It may be English or it may be any language where both the receiver and sender is accepting, right? If you know English and the other person also knows English, you can communicate through English. If you know Arabic and other person knows Arabic, if both the person knows Arabic, then you can communicate through Arabic. So there is no barrier in language, right? You can communicate using any written language. Chat allows effective and efficient communication, allowing immediate receipt of acknowledgement or a reply. Why it is called as effective and efficient communication? Because when you are sending your comment or your message to your friend, immediately he will receive the message and he will reply. So communication is effective. It is real time. You don't want to wait for such a long time to get the reply or to send a message, right? Acknowledgement or reply, receipt of acknowledgement, immediate receipt of acknowledgement or reply. However, instant messaging is basically not necessarily supported by transaction control. What do you mean by transaction control? You have to specify an asset property. What do you mean by asset property? Atomicity, consistency, integrity and durability. If it does not support these properties, then it is called as not supported by transaction control. What do you mean by that? If you send a message to your recipient, we don't know whether it is received or not. In that case, it is not necessarily supported by transaction control. You don't want to completely support by transaction control in instant messaging. It is usually possible to save a text conversation for later reference. You can save a text conversation for later reference. That's possible. Many client programs allow file transfer, although they are often locked in a local message history. Make it similar to the present nature of emails. Okay, it will be like emails, persistent nature of email, right? You can attach files as well. You can send message, you can send along with the message you can send files as well, right? Image, if you want to send image, you can send. You want to send PDF files or documents, anything, you can send through instant messaging. That is also possible, right? That's about chat. An example of chat is nowadays you can see WhatsApp. It's a micro blog, micro chatting. You can chat, right? There are many such kind of application available today. Messaging, right? Messenger is another kind of chat application. Then let us move on to WIKIS. It's a very important application, right? WIKIS. What is wiki? A wiki is a website that allow user to add and update content on the site using their own web browser, right? It's a application, it's a web application where you can add and update your content, right? And that will be visible to all the users who are using wiki. So you can update the current you can update current affairs in wikis, right? You will get up-to-date information from wiki. because all the users by using wiki is updating their information day by day, so you will be getting those information. Wiki are provided by wiki software. It is provided by wiki software. Wiki may serve many different purposes, such as knowledge management and note taking. Right? It is based on majorly two concepts. It's based on two purposes it is using. First is acknowledgement management, and second is note taking. For these two purposes, normally we use wikis. Wikis can be community websites and intranets. It may be community websites or it may be intranets. Some permits control over different functions or level of access. Some wikis permits control over different functions. See, some functions cannot be edited or updated. Those controls will be there, and there are some level of access. Some website content you cannot access in wiki, right? For example, editing rights may permit changing, adding or removing material. So when you give right for adding, removing material, then everybody can add and remove material, right? Existing material can be removed, new things can be added, right? This is an editing right. WikiWeb was the first wiki. Ward Cunningham started developing WikiWeb in Portland, Oregon in 1994 and installed it on the internet domain c2.com on March 25, 1995. So what was the first wiki? First wiki was WikiWeb. WikiWeb is the first wiki that has been invented by Cunningham, right? It's developed in 1994 and installed in domain c2.com on March 25, 1995. Wikis are generally designed with the philosophy of making it easy to, rather than making it difficult to make them. Wikis are generally designed with the philosophy of making it easy to correct mistakes rather than making it difficult to make them. Say suppose one person has added some information, but that is not correct. So the other person who found mistakes can be edited, right? The person who found mistakes can be edited. He may be edited. He can be edited the information. He can correct the information, right? Thus, while wikis are very open, they provide a means to verify the validity of recent additions to the body of pages. So it is very open. Anybody can edit, anybody can correct, right? Anybody can add. The most prominent on almost every wiki is the recent changes page. Recent changes page. A specific list showing recent edits or list of edits made within a given time frame. That also you can see who has edited the information and who has added the information, and recent editing is also viewed. Some wikis can filter the list to remove minor edits, and edits may be done automatic importing scripts, right? That also you can use. So that's about wikis. Nowadays you can say Wikipedia. It's one of the important application in internet where you can see lots of information, right? If you want to check an information about a data or about a book, about an author, about anything, that is available in Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a kind of wikis, right? It consists of the whole information. Every information is available in wikis. If you go and see the information, if you want to check the information in the net, first option will be Wikipedia. You can go and search in Wikipedia. You will get exact information. Why you get exact information? Because when one person added an information, if other person say that that information is not correct, then he can modify that, right? So you will get the correct information from Wikipedia. You can you can rely on Wikipedia. That is the most important thing. Then let us move on to social networking. It's a very important concept. Social networking. It is a application. It is a different kind. There are different kinds of application in social networking which we cannot we cannot neglect in our daily life. For example, WhatsApp and Facebook and also Twitter. These social media applications we cannot neglect in our life, because every information is passing through these social media websites. Okay, right. A social network is a social structure made up of a set of social actors, such as individuals or organizations, set of direct ties and other social interactions between actors. So social network is a social structure. So how the structure is made up of? The structure is made up of social actors. The social actors may be individual persons, right? Individuals or organizations. Okay, and sets of dyadic ties and other social interactions between actors. So there will be a social interaction between actors. But if I want to interact with one of my friend, I can go for any social media, any social networking application. I can go for WhatsApp, I can go for Telegram, I can go for Facebook, I can go for messaging. There are several kind of social networking website where you can go for instant messaging, right? The social network perspective provides a set of methods for analyzing the structure of all social entities, as well as a variety of the theories explaining the patterns observed in these structures. Right? It provides a set of methods. They will provide you certain methods for analyzing the structure. For analyzing the structure of social media website, all social entities. Any social entities, any recent news can be published in social media, and the public can interact, or public can give their views. Their views they can give through comments, right? They can share the video, they can share the post available or posted in social media applications, right? They can like, they can dislike, right? They can do everything. The study of these structures uses social network analysis to identify local and global patterns. There are local and global patterns. There are local news as well as global news. Locate influential entities, right, and examine network dynamics. Okay. Social networks and the analysis of them is inherently interdisciplinary academic field which emerged from social psychology, sociology, statistics and graph theory. All these things has been integrated to social networks to analyze the interdisciplinary academic field. Okay. The social network is a theoretical construct useful in the social science to study relationship between individuals, groups, organizations, even entire societies. Social units, see differentiation. Right. So what is social network? It's a theoretical construct. It's a theoretical construct. Okay. And what is the purpose, or what is the useful, what is the use of this theoretical concept? Useful in the social science to study relationship between individuals, groups, organizations, even entire societies. Okay. The term is used to describe a social structure determined by such interactions. The term social network is used to describe a social structure determined by such interactions, right? Interaction between organizations, interaction between groups, interaction between individuals, interaction between entire societies, right? The ties through which any given social unit connects represent the convergence of the social contacts of that unit. So that's about social networking. So nowadays we can see there are many social networking websites such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, Messenger, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. There are plenty of social networking websites. Now let us move on to file sharing. So what is file sharing? File sharing is the practice of distributing or providing access to digital media such as computer programs, multimedia, that means audio, images and video, documents or electronic books. What is file sharing? It's a practice of distributing or providing access to digital media. Practice of distributing or providing access to digital media. What do you mean digital media? Digital media means it may be computer programs, multimedia contents, documents or electronic books. That is called as file sharing. You can share any kind of file. Any kind of file means you can share any kind of digital media. Digital media may be computer programs. It may be multimedia contents like audio, images and video, or it may be documents or electronic books. File sharing may be achieved in a number of ways. So how you could share the files? What are the number of ways where you can you can share the files? A common method of storage, transmission and dispersion include manual sharing utilizing removable media, centralized server on computer networks, World Wide Web based hyperlink documents, and the use of distributed peer-to-peer network. These are the ways. First is using manual sharing, utilizing removable media. Using removable media we can share the files, right, by pen drive or any kind of removable device. Second is centralized servers on computer networks. If you have a centralized server in computer networks, you can access files from that server. The server will provide you the files. Digital media. Digital media means it may be computer programs, multimedia files, documents or electronic books, anything. And another option is you can go for worldwide web based hyperlink documents. There are hyperlink documents. Using websites you can share the files. And the use of distributed peer-to-peer networking. Using peer-to-peer networking also you can share. Peer-to-peer means one person can share the file to another person, not another person, right? Peer-to-peer, right? That person can send to the person who is sent, right? So there will be a peer-to-peer distribution of files. A bulletin board system or BBS, also called as computer bulletin board service, is a computer server running software that allow user to connect to the system using terminal program. Bulletin board system or BBS. So BBS is a computer server running software that allow the users to connect to the system using terminal program. So using terminal program, a user can connect to a computer server using BBS, right? Computer Bulletin Board Service, CBBS. Once logged in, the user can perform functions such as uploading and downloading software and data, reading news and bulletins, exchanging messages with other users through public message boards, and sometimes via direct chatting. So what is Bulletin Board System or BBS or CBBS? CBBS is a computer server running software. Computer server running software, where when you install that software in that server, that software will provide you certain service. What are those services? You can upload the data, you can upload the files, or you can download the software and data. You can read news and bulletins. You can exchange messages with other users through public message boards and sometimes via direct chatting, right? Telnet is an application protocol used on the internet or local area network to provide a bi-directional interactive text-oriented communication facility using virtual terminal connection. Another thing is Telnet. So what is the purpose of Telnet? It's an application protocol on the internet or local area network. It is used to provide bi-directional interactive text-oriented communication. You can make a communication between persons using Telnet, that is a virtual terminal using a virtual terminal connection. User data is interpressed in bandwidth Telnet control information in an 8-bit byte oriented data connection over the transmission control protocol. So using transmission control protocol, it's a 8-bit byte oriented data connection, right? Using transmission control protocol, we are going to communicate with the persons in Telnet. So what is Usenet? Usenet is a worldwide distributed discussion system available on computers. It is worldwide distributed discussion system, right? And it was developed from general purpose Unix to Unix copy dial-up network architecture. Okay, and Tom Truscott and Jim Ellis convinced the idea of 1979, and it was established in 1980. Users read and post messages called articles or post, and collectively termed as news. Okay, users can post the news. News may be messages, it may be articles or post to one or more categories known as news group. You can create a news group so that a person can send news. News may be articles or post, right, or post messages. Okay, it was invented by 1979. Idea is invented by Truscott and Jim Ellis in 1979. Usenet resembles a bulletin board system, BBS, in many respects, and is the precursor to internet forum that becomes widely used. Okay, nowadays internet forums are used instead of Usenet. Okay, a major difference between BBS or web forum and Usenet is the absence of central server and dedicated administrator. So the difference is that in BBS there won't be any central server and dedicated administrator, right? But we have in Usenet, in web forum. See, in Usenet we don't have a server or dedicated administrator, but in case of BBS or web forum we have a dedicated administrator and central server. That is the difference between BBS or web forum and Usenet. Okay, Telnet is the Usenet is culturally and historically significant in network world, having given rise to or popularized many widely recognized concepts and terms such as FAQ, flame, sock puppet, and spam. These are the kind of Usenet, right? It's secularly and historically significant in the network world, right? So there are two kinds of application we can use for messaging, like first is Telnet and second is Usenet, right? Each of them have their own advantages. Now let us move on to net banking. What is net banking? Right, nowadays net banking is a most popular application where the user can do transaction, money transaction, right? Online banking is also known as internet banking or web banking or home banking. Is an electronic payment system that enables customers of bank or other financial institution to conduct a range of financial transactions through the financial institution's website, right? Using financial institution's website, the users or the account holders of that bank can do internet banking or web banking or home banking or online banking. It's an electronic payment system where the user can do the transaction. It may be debit or credit. The online banking system will typically connect to or be part of the core banking system operated by a bank to provide customers access to banking services in place of traditional branch banking, right? What do you mean by traditional branch banking? You have to physically go there and you have to do your transaction, right? Instead of that, we have a home banking or online banking where you can sit in your home or your workplace or anywhere in the world you can do the transaction, right? To access a financial institution's online banking facility, a customer having personal internet access must register with the institution for the service and set up a password for customer verification, right? So what are the things you need to access internet banking? You need an internet connection and you have to register in in the respective bank websites, right? When you register, you will get the user ID and password. By using user ID and password, you can access the online banking applications based on your bank. To access online banking, a customer would go to the financial institution's website and enter the online banking facility using the customer's number and password, right? So you have to register in financial institution's website. For example, if you have an SBI account, you have to go to SBI SBI website, then you have to register, right? Once you registered in SBI, then you will get a user ID and password. Once you get the user ID and password, you can directly go for personal banking or corporate banking. Any kind of banking you can go for according to your account. Based on your account, you can go for any banking. Suppose you have a personal account, then you have to give your user ID and password. The user ID may be the ID which is generated by the bank or financial institution, or maybe your account number, and password is also being generated by them, right? Using those user ID and password, you can log into your bank, and you can do the transaction. Okay. Some financial institutions have set up additional security step for access. There may be OTP verification or something like that. Okay. The common features of net banking are, what are the common features of net banking? Number 1, a bank customer can perform some non-transactional tasks through online banking, including viewing account balance. You can view the account balance at any time. Second, viewing recent transactions. Recent transaction also, you can see the history of transaction. Downloading bank statement, for example, in PDF format. If you want to download the bank statement, you can download in PDF format. Viewing images of paid checks. You can view the images of paid checks as well. Ordering checkbooks. You can order the checkbook. These are non-transactional tasks. What do you mean transactional task? Transactional task means you have to give, or you have to go you have to debit or credit. That is called as transaction. Non-transaction means these are the things: viewing account balance, viewing recent transaction, downloading bank statements, viewing images of paid checks, ordering checkbooks, etc. Second feature is bank customers can transact banking tasks through online banking, including fund transfer between the customer's linked account. You can transfer the fund, that is called as credit. So that is called as debit. Paying third parties, including bill payments, telegraph, wire transfer, etc. Paying for third parties, you can pay the electricity bill, you can pay water bill, you can pay phone bill, etc. Investment purchase or sale. Investment purchase or sale. Then next is loan applications and transactions such as repayment of enrollments. Loan applications and transactions such as repayments of enrollment. These are all called as transaction. Okay. And third feature is financial institution administration. Financial institution administration. The financial institution can administrate the they can control the website, they can control the they can control the account holders details, right? Fourth feature is management of multiple users having varying levels of authority. That is also being done by the financial institution. They can manage multiple users having different kinds of authority, right? Then fifth is transaction approval process, right? Transaction approval process also can be done. So these are called as net banking, right? That's it for today's class. Let us see in next class. If you have any doubts, share me through WhatsApp or comment in YouTube. Okay, thank you.